What's up, YouTube? This is Vernacular TV. If you like the content that I'm producing, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Recently, as Russia has invaded Ukraine, it has shaken up the international system, the international order, since 1989 and 1990 with the dissolution of the Soviet Empire. But the system is shifted between the relations between nations and between the financial system. Give me your ear for a second so I can explain. The system is being shaken up. As you see, new alliances are being created while old alliance is still intact. NATO is intact. Russia feels like NATO is expanding eastward, so that's another conversation. But as we can see, recently at the United Nations, one of the United States' biggest allies, Israel, didn't cast any condemnation to Russia as it relates to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Israel said it want to maintain its relationship with Russia and not interfere in its policy. Usually Israel and the United States are on one accord, but when you look to the other side, the JCPOA, the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action that Obama signed, was dissoluted by the Trump administration. Now Joe Biden is trying to re-establish the JCPOA to control an Iranian nuclear program. So Israel don't like that conversation that Iran and the United States having, so it probably throwing shots at the United States by not being in alliance, being in congruence with the condemnation of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. So that's another conversation being had. Nation states are taking its position in order to make the best gain and outcome for the survival of the state. So as Russia invaded Ukraine, the international system has been shaken up tremendously. The Europeans, Germany for the first time in a long time, is increasing its military budget. And Germany, who was taking a pacifist stance, now is going to get military aggressive since Hitler regime fell. Germany also going to send weapons and military aid to Ukraine. So the system is being shaken up. The European Union said they're going to send $500 million worth of military aid to the Ukraine military. The United States is sending military aid to the Ukrainians, army, to resist Russia aggression. But also within the international system, conversation is being had. Over 24 nations in Africa did not cast any condemnation against Russia, and a few other nations abstained from casting any condemnation. So Russia is still a player within the international system. As you see, what's going on in Ukraine is also being publicized in the West. It's being driven by the bastardization of Russia. But the politics that's also going on is the oil politics, because certain faction within the United States don't want Russia taking its oil to Germany with the Nord Stream pipeline. So it's huge. Russia supply Europe with a lot of oil and gas. So that's very important. A lot of gas. So that's a very important aspect in this geopolitical struggle. But the international system is being shaken up. Russia is being removed from the SWIFT. The European Union saying that they're going to remove Russia from the SWIFT banking system. What is the SWIFT? The SWIFT is a Society Worldwide Financial Telecommunication Messaging System that keep bank in accordance with essential agreement to make transaction and messaging of monetary funds. So Russia is being kicked out of SWIFT, which will send, a shock wave to Russian economy. So that's what the Europeans want to do. That's what the United States want to do. A lot of things is going on. Russia Football Federation was banned from FIFA. FIFA banned Russia temporarily until the conflict in Ukraine ceased. So a lot of faction in Europe also wants this conflict with Russia. But the scary thing about it is that we are in a nuclear age. The nuclear proliferation is something serious. The nuclear proliferation is something serious. Recently, Vladimir Putin put his nuclear forces on high alert because Putin feels that nature is expanding eastward. Russia going to turn to China. Those alliances going to be building the China and the Russian and alliance with the Iranian. The system is shifting. But with the sanction on Russia and moving Russia from the SWIFT banking system, it's gonna send shockwave to the global economy. It's gonna send shockwave because Russia is a player. So all the business dealing that Russia banks was dealing, they're gonna default because they will no longer be able to access the SWIFT financial system. But Russia also taking its own mechanism to create its own financial messaging system. So the politics is shifting within the international system. The financial politics, the geostrategic politics is shifting. Who's going to control the narratives? That's what it's about. You see in the West with the media. They're making Russia to be this horrible player within the system. But this is all by design because the global elites out here to create chaos. All these wars are being fought by these global elites and their interests. But we see what's going on as Russia invade Ukraine. The system has been shaken up.